Eli is coming in right now. Here he is. Welcome. Running a little late.
Good morning. You're on live. We live?
We're live.
Wow. Where's the microphone? Yeah, the drone. Okay. All right, Rabbi Isai, we're slightly behind schedule, so we'll rush it over here. Dear Rabbi, I started learning Daf Yomi in 1997. That's 3 cycles ago. During the last cycle, I was appointed to fill in. That's why he wrote from the Tefillin Magid. To fill in, okay?
Fill in.
Tefillin.
What's your filling? You guys.
What? Oh, yeah. That story. Not for now. Not appropriate for now. To fill in as a Magid Shir. Rabbi Isai, have a seat.
I'm trying to.
Okay. When our rabbi was unavailable. I'm now learning Yerushalmi with my chavruzi. You see, after 3 cycles, you're allowed to graduate to Yerushalmi. I listen to Yeshiurim on the treadmill at the gym every morning. Thanks for the company. I plan to be in Israel in May. My daughter will graduate at the Technion Medical School. Mazel Tov. I will beli neder, bring coffee, says Judah. Now we have plenty. Now we have the in with the factory himself. I'll beli neder, no, I'm just kidding. Bring that coffee. Yeshua's going to kill me. I will believe that try to make it to one or more of your shiurim, Hatzlacha Rabbah, Ben Zion Taub, Providence, Rhode Island. So we got from Rhode Island. What else do we have here today? Is that it for today? This is an old one. I have a pile of these emails that I didn't have a chance. This is a really old one. Shavuot Tov, Rabbi. Love your shiurim, both on the full daf and the 8-minute review. Chazak u'baruch. Hashem should give you koyach to continue your amazing work and inspire hundreds of thousands of listeners. Amen. That's what he says. He said amen. I was listening to tonight's shir and wanted to point out that the Sfardim pronounce the letters bet and vet. Guess what daf this is? Bet and vet. We're talking about Kriya Shema when the bays and the vays. So b'shach b'chov, like those 2 words that have end with a bays and start with a bays. And I asked that the bet and the vet are 2 different. These Sfardim do it the same way. And Memela, I think I pointed it out then as well. They're both bet, so that's why they're both base, so there is a confusion. Hence, Esev Bisadecha can share 1 letter bet if read quickly. Esev Bisadecha, but for Ashkenazim that's not a problem. Esev Bisadecha. Hakanaf Petil remains a mystery because it's a fei and a pei. I sincerely love every minute of your shiurim and hope Hashem benches you in all that you do. Yashar Koyach, that comes from Moe. All right, and 1 picture for today. This is our good friend. He's back finally. And today is a Stefansky theme, I think. Here's Jonathan and Eilat. You could kind of make out that this is the shir. He's not really watching it, I don't think. All right. It's about the picture. It's not about the daf, it's about the picture. All right. Rabbi said Daf Mem Daled Amud Aleph. Here we go. A brand new Mishnah. Thanks for the. I was just thanking you for the water, but Baruch Hashem, there's nothing in it. What? Oh, somebody else drank it. Did you drink my water?
No. No, it's been there since.
It's fine. Okay. Rabbi Sai, so last night, if you weren't here, was an amazing night. I see some of you guys. I see Menachem wasn't here. Baruch Hashem, you didn't come. We didn't have. How many people did we have here last night? I don't know.
Over 90. No, it was 90 chairs.
Over 100 people. Over 100, he had to bring out 10. He set up 90 chairs and he brought out another 10. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol neh b'dvaroi.
Standing room only.
And we had a guest experience last night. We had a guest.
What? All right, so it's a big schus to have a Torah anytime guys here. Shimon, I remember his brother's name. Shimon and Reuven. Shimon and Reuven, Ben Yaakov. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Ben Yaakov. Now I just got it. The sons of Yaakov, Shimon and Reuven, amazing guys. 9 million hours of Torah last year. And I have to thank our friend David Feinberg for setting us up. It started with Yosef Ben Zev, who's a big watcher, and he's on our group. But David Feinberg cemented it. So Baruch Hashem, the good news is that we are going to be on Torah Anytime. And it's a big schos because I found out that there's only about 6 other Magid Shurim and Daf Yomi on Torah Anytime, so it's a big schos. And we're the only 8-minute daf on Torah Anytime. So that'll be... What? Yeah, okay. I want to ask Mechila from our good friend Shalom Strick. He came in from Chicago. I was in the middle of posing with him for a picture. He came in with his son from Yeshivat HaKotel. He also watches. Shalavim? I thought it was called. And he donated on the spot. He donated the 2 screens. So that'll be very nice. And I was in the middle of taking a picture, and then somebody said, let's take a testimonial and Bekitzer. So Shalom, if you're watching, come back. We got to take a picture. That being said, let's start the Mishnah. Zok the Mishnah. Hey, viu lefanav maliach. Tchila upasimoy. If they brought salt, something really salty, and bread. So we learned the halach already of tafel and ikr. You make a bracha on the ikr, and the tafel doesn't need a bracha. So over here it's the opposite. The Mishnah is basically telling us there is a case where you don't make a bracha on bread. Most of the time you make a bracha on bread and everything else, you don't have to make a bracha. Over here it's the opposite. You make the bracha on the other thing, on the maliach, on the salt, and you don't make a bracha on the bread, and the Gemara is going to explain how is that possible. You make a bracha on salt and you don't have to make a bracha on bread. Mevarach ala maliach upoider sapas. Shapas tfeilaloi, because in this particular case, the bread becomes secondary to the salt. Zaklau, kolshu ikr v'imoy tfeila, mevarach ala ikr upoider sa tfeila. So that's the clout. You always make the bracha on the main thing and not on the secondary. Herring we are going to discuss later. It could kill you.
But we don't do this. Says
the Gemara, wait a minute. Says the Gemara, midi to have a meliach ikr upas tfeila. What kind of case is this that the salt is the main thing? There's something special called the fruit of genoisar, which is from the Kinneret. We're right around the Kinneret. And the peiros, as the Gemara is going to describe, extremely, extremely sweet. It can basically kill you from sweetness. So what do? In order to counteract the sweetness, you take salt. So now the salt becomes the ikr the peiros are the ikr, the salt is the tafel, and memela you don't make a bracha on the salt, but the salt has to come together with bread. So the bread is secondary to these peiros genoisar. You eat these peiros genoisar, they're amazing fruit. They don't exist anymore, obviously. They're so sweet that you need to eat bread with salt to counteract the sweetness. So the bread and salt is a tafel to the peiros genoisar. So you make a ha'etz on the peiros, you don't make a bracha on the bread. I'm sure it's right around the Kinneret. They say that even the Kinneret is called Kinneret because of these fruit, because the fruit was so sweet, like a harp. Omar Rabba Barachano, in fact, they didn't have this fruit in Yerushalayim. The Gemara elsewhere says that they didn't have peiros genoisar in Yerushalayim because so people don't go to Aliyah Regel and say, wow, if we just came here for these peiros genoisar, it was worth it. So they cut out peiros genoisar because Baruch Hu didn't put peiros genoisar in Yerushalayim.
The only reason why you need it is because to counteract the sweetness. We learned previously that if you were only eating the olive to counteract the
exactly, so you don't make a bracha on the olive. You make a bracha on the tznoin and not on the olive. It fits right in. The olive comes to counteract the tznoin. And over here, it counteracts the bread, counteracts the genoisar. So even though the olive was shivas aminim, in that case, you make a hadama and not on the shivas aminim. Good example. Says the Gemara, so Rabbi Yochanan wanted to go eat these fruit, and he used to do this often, it seems like. If we were 100 students, each student would take 10 of these fruit, total of 1,000. And if we're only 10 students, Each one would bring 100 for a total of 1,000. Now don't forget that Rabbi Yochanan was a huge person, very interesting man. Everybody used to stand by the mikvah, look at his beauty, all these gemaras about Rabbi Yochanan, just as some sort of a reference. I'm not sure, probably we're talking about Guzmais here. Each 100 would be 3 sa. So total of 30 sa, which is a total of 4,320 eggs worth. Basically like a giant washing machine box. Not a refrigerator, because that's 40 sa, that's how we try to picture it. Giant washing machine box full of eggs, full of fruit. This is what he would eat in one sitting. And he swore that he didn't eat anything. As the Gemara is Yuna Sokadaitach, he ate. He wasn't satiated from it. It was for the sweet, it's for the sweetness, not for the mizainas. Right? A fly could walk on the ceiling. A fly could walk up a wall. But they would eat so much of this genoisar that if the fly hit his forehead, it would slide right off from the oil or for whatever. It couldn't stick to his forehead. Rabbi Ami, I know you're asking, but it's such a gadol like Rabbi Vo, there shouldn't be a fly at all, right? Rabbi Ami and Ravasi would eat so many of these fruit that their hair would fall out. Reb Shimon Lakish have ochel, that's the pshat. Yeah, okay, I get it. Reb Shimon Lakish have ochel ad the marid. Rish Lakish would eat so much of it that he would become delirious, he would become shikker. So Rabbi Yochanan had to call the police. So the cops had to take him home, so he shouldn't have any drunk driving. And they would bring him home. So now the Gemara just goes in. Seemingly, I didn't see anywhere, but you come to your own conclusions. This is like a typical agata. Large numbers. We have to understand what's going on behind the story here, but the Gemara is trying to describe Eretz Yisrael. In Eretz Yisrael, there was a city that Yanai Amelech, Bahar Amelech, take out 600,000 bowls of tuna. They had so many figs, that so many employees cutting down the figs, that they needed to feed them with 600,000 bowls of tuna. Huh? Yeah, Jonathan's looking at me, tuna, because, right? Wherever we go, what's your name? Your name is Stefansky. You're related to Dagim Tuna? Every single time without, right, Jonathan?
Now you're related to the 8-minute Daf.
Ooh. No, we did not have this planned out beforehand. Anyway, there was a time that our relative, he made a big asik. He bought a whole container of tuna, and he bought it for $1 a can. So he decided that he's gonna sell the whole container. He's gonna make money. So he sold it to a guy. He sold it to a guy for $105. $105. This guy, $1.05 for dagim tuna is a crazy deal. So he bought the whole container. And that guy, sold to another guy for $110. The kitzer, it finally got to $185. And the guy said, wait a minute, for $185, I got to see what's going on here. So he popped open the can and it was spoiled. So he said, what's going on here? He says, you're not supposed to smell it. This is for selling. This is just for schayra. This is not real tuna that we eat. Anyway, that's the Stefansky tuna. So the Gemara, this is not going to make it to the Torah Anytime snippets. He said it's going to be a problem for him if he goes through our shiurim. Nachman said there's no story. There aren't any stories that he could actually write in his books. Zok the Gemara. Last night there was a good few good stories. You weren't here, no. He was going crazy. He was kicking me under the table. What's going on? Not that. Zok the Gemara. Fine. Ki asa Rav and Omar. Ilon echad hoya leliani amelch bar amelech. He actually had a tree yanai in Eretz Yisrael. Shoy meridim imeno arbaim sa goizolois. What's arbaim sa? The size of a mikvah. So you have to picture what's a a kosher mikveh the size of a refrigerator box. Basically, approximately. That's how many young chicklings he was able to get 3 times a month. So 3 boxes like that a month. That's how big this tree. If you go next to Nachman Seltzer's house right over here, there's a tree like that has like thousands of birds, right?
Every month. Next to Rose Bears.
No, there's a few of them. Next to Chaim's house, there's a few of these crazy trees. But they don't have pigeons.
Cut it down, but that was...
Arba'im sogu zolois misholish berachos b'chodesh 3 times a month. He also Rabbi Yitzchak Omar irachas hoyse b'Eretz Yisrael v'gufne shema. I literally, Rabbis, I couldn't sleep last night because I put out that 8-minute daf thing and I did it. It was a big mistake. I learned my lesson. I forced it out, even though I wasn't 100% ready. And as I was learning the Gemara this morning, I realized I made way too many mistakes on that thing. I have to redo it. So for next time, don't push it out. Learn it well. Here's one of them. I can. I was going crazy. There were 80 siblings that married 80 siblings. Kohanim, brothers that married Kohanim sisters, but they're Kohanim. What's the Maila? So the Maharsha says that a Kohenes, you're smiling because he did that editing. I said twins. It's not. Where does it say twins? I decided it's twins. It's not, I didn't see anywhere it says twins. Zuga. I also thought it's twins, but it's not. I don't think it's twins.
Just says brothers in Rashi.
Where do you see? I don't. Anyways.
Rashi's brothers.
All right. Yishkoyach. So I'll write that mistake number 1 is not a real mistake.
Achim.
Achim.
No, Shnaim.
So Shnaim. Pairs of brothers and sisters, but not twins necessarily.
It's okay. It's not a bad mistake.
Fine. Anyways,
Not a bad mistake.
it's just the beginning.
Okay.
There's 4 of these, at least. Go watch the video, see if you can find it. It was just to test the Olam if they're paying attention.
My grandparents were 2 brothers married to 2 sisters and both sides of Kohen.
Really? Rav Schoenberg is a Kohen. His grandparents were married to 2 Kohanes. Now, what's the point of marrying Kohanes? Because the Kohenes, so the Maharsha says, must marry a Talmid Chacham. Otherwise, her marriage won't be a very good marriage. He brings a Gemara. So therefore, they try to stick together, Kohanim to Kohanois. So there's 80 pairs in the place called Gufne, and he says Gufnes is Meloshin Invei HaGefen ve'Invei HaGefen. Shmonim Zugos Achim Kohanim Nesum Shmonim Zugos Achayos Kohanos. Ubatku Rabbanim Misur V'Narda. And they checked to see if there's anything similar, like Ashkechu, and they couldn't find such a case like Rabbi Schoenberg's case. Bar Mibnasei de Rav Chizda, besides the daughters of Chizda, the Havanasivin LeRome Bar Chama or the Mar Ukva Bar Chama, they were married to 2 brothers. Vavagav, the Ini Havakahanta, yeah, they were Kohanois and they married Talmid Chachamim. Inu le Havakahane. The sons of Bar Chama were not Kohanim. They were brothers, but not Kohanim. So it was very rare to have one case. We didn't have one case, and in Gufni we had 80 cases like that. Omarav kol suda shein b'melach ein suda. You must have salt in the meal in order for it to be called a meal. What's going on here with the corn blues today? Oh, so they discuss Rabbi Yehuda Chassid, and some people say Rabbi Yehuda Chassid is only for his own family. He saw Baruch HaKodesh v'chulu v'chulu. What? What's the problem with Rabbi Yehuda Chassid in this case? 2 brothers should not marry 2 sisters? Okay.
Obviously, a lot of people do that.
The Stefanskys did it, right? At least twice. Your?
My grandmother
Yeah.
married Eli from Stefansky. From Beis Yaakov.
Oh, that's within the Stefansky. Oh, no, another. 2 brothers married 2 sisters. That's in your side. There's other. I think there's somebody else also.
My son Benji is married to Benji and his brother is married to 2 sisters.
Benji Kornbluth and his brother are married to 2 sisters. Okay. By the way, Benji is one of the founders of the shir. He's never stepped foot in here, even once, but he's one of the founders. Kol Suda, we're going to have to bring him in soon. Kol Suda she'ein bo sarif, ain't a Suda. Any meal that doesn't have soup is not a Suda. This is why a lot of people, in the hottest days of the summer, they serve you a bowl of soup because of this Gemara. If you don't have soup, it's not a Suda. Says the Mishnah. What bracha achroni do you make on the Shivas Haminim? You eat grapes, figs, and pomegranates, mevarach achreim, shalish brachos. You make a birkas hamazon, divrei Rebbe Gamliel. Gemara is going to explain. This is what we do. Bracha achas mein shalish. Ala michya. Rebbe Akiva omer, afilo achas shelig vu mezoynoi. If you eat cooked vegetables, but that's what you're eating for mezonos to sustain you. Mevarach olav shalish brachos. You would make a birkas hamazon according to Rebbe Akiva, who we typically paskin like, but in this case Chachamim are against him and did the Rav, so we paskin like Chachamim. Hashoisem mayim litzmoi. Here's mistake number 2. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. If a person drinks water because he's thirsty, mevarach shahakol niyeh b'dvaroi. Rebbe Tarfon omer. Boire nefashis rabbis chesroin. What does Rebbe Tarfon say, Rabbi Isai? That's the shtus that I said. So erase that.
What did you say?
He says the bracha. I'm not going to say what I said. What's the pshat? The bracha rishayna, says Rebbe Tarfon, is boire nefashis.
Well, he just said it was.
My time with the Rebbe Gamliel. My time with the Rebbe Gamliel. The chsiv. Here goes. So Rebbe Gamliel says this is the pshat in the pasuk. You have 3 psukim in a row. Dvar and Parak Ches. You have pasuk Ches, Tes, and Yud. The first pasuk is what we're familiar with, the Shivas Haminim, Eretz Chitu Soira. Shivas Haminim. The third pasuk is V'chalta v'savata v'irachta. The Chiyuv of Birkas Hamazon. Says Rebbe Gamliel, the Chiyuv of Birkas Hamazon goes on Shivas Haminim. Say Chachamim, you forgot about the red pasuk. The red pasuk makes a hefsek and tells us that they're not connected. Says Rebbe Gamliel, no. I noticed that there's a pasuk in between here. That's only to tell you that you make a birkas hamazon on whatever the derech it is to eat. But if you're going to chew wheat, that's not the derech. You don't make a birkas hamazon on chewing wheat. But you make a birkas hamazon on eating fruit, even though they're raw, because that's the derech. Let's see it inside. My time with Rebbe Gamliel. This actually reminds me of Avi's poke on Chanukah, because the Gemara basically brings it, but it's in you could see it. D'chsiv Eretz Chitu Soira. Uchsiv Eretz Hashalom b'Meskinus Toicha B'Lechem. Uchsiv Achad V'Savod V'Rachlis Hashem Elikecha. V'Rabbanan Eretz Hifsek Inyan. This middle pasuk is a hefsek. Rebbe Gamliel, Nami Eretz Hifsek Inyan. What does he do? He has to admit that there's a pasuk Tes over here. Again, the chiyuv of birkas hamazon is for achila kedarkai. So if you eat a pomegranate the way it is without cooking it, you have to make a birkas hamazon according to Rebbe Gamliel. How do I know that? From this pasuk. But if you chew a piece of wheat, what bracha do you make on a piece of wheat that you're chewing? Or adama. On that you don't make a birkas hamazon. Why? Because that's not the derech. The derech is to make bread. Or Rebbe Yaakov bar Yidi, or Rebbe Chanina. Kol shu mechamesh zaminim. Anything from the 5 grains, spelt, barley, wheat, batchila mevarach olav boirei mine mezonos. This is what we do today. We make a mezonos, and then you make a bracha achroina. What's me'ein shalosh? Me'ein shalosh. It's a shorter version of birkas hamazon, of the 3 brachas of birkas hamazon. Amar Rabbi Bar Mari, Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kol Shu Meshivas Haminim. And what about the 7 fruits mentioned in the pasuk? Batchilim mevarach boyer priya eitz, mevarach bracha achas mein shalosh. So basically, he's passing like Chachamim in the Mishnah. Amar le Abai le Rav Dimi, Mai niu bracha achas mein shalosh. What does it sound like? Amar le. So he tells him. Now, what you'll notice as we're reading it that it's not exactly like we say today. It's 90% there, but not 100%. Apeir dates, what does he say on fruit? Alo eitz, valprio eitz, valtnuvas asoda, the produce of the field. Valeretz chemda, on the desirable land. Toiva uruchava, it's spacious. Shinchat alavisenu lechem epriya, he gave Yerusha to our forefathers to eat from its fruit. Vilizboya mituva, and to be satiated from its good fruit. Rachim Hashem Elokeinu Yisrael Amecha, Vayushalayim Yirecha. Now, we skipped 2 parts of it, but that in it has the first bracha of birkas hamazon. Valeretz chemda is the second part of birkas hamazon. Rachim Hashem. Now we're talking about the third. Rachim Hashem Elokeinu Yisrael Amecha, Vayushalayim Yirecha. Right? That's Bnei Yerushalayim. V'amigdoshecha v'al mizbechecha. Now, if you notice, this is not in benching. V'al mizbechecha. There's a few things that are not in benching, and this is one of them. But it's a me'ein shalish. We're taking this out of benching. So what is it doing here? Anybody have a shot? V'al mizbechecha. Where does it say in benching anything about a mizbeach? Okay, but it's mentioned in benching. How come shulchan we eat a whole meal by the?
Maybe the salt.
But the salt you have at a regular benching also you have salt. You eat bread with salt and you don't bench it in a mizbeach. Says the Briskerov, because this is unique to Peiros of Shivas Haminim, and Shivas Haminim is bikurim on the mizbeach. And Birkas Hamazon is a general bracha. It's not specific for a fruit for Shivas Haminim. Lechem, but it's a general thing. That's what he's saying. It's not specific to bread. You're eating a whole meal. That's what he's saying. There's menachas you're saying, not lechem parmesan on the mizbeach. A mincha. Okay. V'sivnei Yerushalayim ikochecha. This is about Yerushalayim. Ikochecha b'mheir v'yomeinu. V'aleinu sicha v'samcheinu ba. You should bring us to Eretz Yisrael. V'samcheinu ba. Should make us happy. I believe this is also not in benching. Is there something about Simcha in Eretz Yisrael? I don't know. Ki ata toivu meitiv la'koil. This is already the fourth bracha that we say in benching. So it's interesting. It's called Mein Shalosh, but it's really Mein Arba. You ever notice that? It's called Mein Shalosh, but we actually mention even the fourth bracha. Why? Because the fourth one is the Rabbanon, he said, that's a good teretz. We're just mentioning the three main brachas in the Torah, and the fourth one happens to be the Rabbanon, but we're mentioning that as well. Ki ata toivu meitiv la'koil. The Chameshes Aminim, what do you say when you eat from the 5 grains? Ala micha v'al kakala v'al tnubas hasada v'chulu v'choisem, and he ends off ala oretz v'ala micha. So, if a person eats Shivas Haminim and Mizaynos, he should say both, right? Now, a lot of times it happens, and here's a big chiddush, at least for me. A lot of times it happens, you eat fruit and you eat Mizaynos, and you start ala micha, or you say ala you start as if you're eating mizaynos, let's say. And you're halfway through and you say, oi, but I ate a pomegranate. So what do? You just finish off ala peir. You also ate a pomegranate. You're supposed to start off both. Michya and peiros. Talk about both of them in the beginning of the bracha. But you didn't. You started off talking about ala michya, and in the middle you remembered. So should you just finish off with peiros or not? What do? What? That's no. That's what you think. That's not the halacha. Finish. Very good. So Noam says you finish the bracha and say another bracha on the peiros. A whole new ala michya. Big chiddush.
Why not?
That's the halacha. I'm telling you halacha.
You don't go.
There's something else. Yeah, no. Maybe, yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt to mention it. You wouldn't start a new bracha for it, but probably mention.
Why do we say we always put that?
No, you don't say Shem. Go back.
I hear. It's a good kasha.
You don't go back to the beginning of the.
Yeah, what he's asking? He's asking, why do you say Mizbechecha in Mizaynos? That's kind of maybe what Te'eta Chaim was asking before.
Right.
If Mizbechecha is unique to Peiros, but since it was instituted already with the Peiros in mind for Shivas Haminim, and now we're just using that same nusach for that, maybe that's the pshat. Okay. Rabbi said, what happens if you're eating stam? Once we're finishing, we have to go? What time is it? So real quickly, a person is eating a piece of pizza. He thought that he's eating, because everybody agrees, less mandapalig, besides maybe Chaim, that if you're eating a mezainis and you have a mind to eat a full suda, you have to make hamoitzi on any mezainis, chocolate cake, berachos, whatever. Everybody agrees to that. So what if you decide you're eating one slice of pizza is probably not a full meal, so you eat a slice of pizza. And then when you had one, you said, this stuff is really good, let me have a second slice of pizza. So what do? You have to wash right there? No, you don't have to wash because he's only eating pachas mikashir. So you don't wash in that. That's possible. So the answer is you don't wash, but you do wash if you have in mind to eat 2 more slices. If you're going to eat whatever the shear is, let's say the shear is 2 slices, and you had 1 slice, and now you decided to make a whole suda with 2 more additional slices, then you wash on the spot and make. But if you're just going to finish up the shear, adding 1 more slice to make it a shear, then you don't. Says the Gemara. What? Yeah, you have to bend.
Just to mention that not all pizza is Muslims, by the way.
Even for 1 slice, he's saying.
Right. Shulashim is a
Meshulashim, he says, is Hamoitzi even for 1 slice. Amazing.
America, everything, it's all Mazayim.
Some people say, oh,
Okay, let's go back. We got to go. We're only 50 minutes.
Even Challah is better.
Zog the Gemara. Michtem b'may chosim. Rabbi Isai. How do you finish this off? What's the problem? The problem is we're mentioning ala oretz. We're mentioning ala oretz. Let's move afterwards. We only have like 50 minutes left. We're mentioning ala oretz of ala michya. You're mentioning 2 things. Is that a problem? Because the Gemara always talks about a problem on Rosh Chodesh, Mekadesh Yisrael, V'Rosh Chodashim. Are you allowed to finish off with 2 separate things? Says the Gemara. Michtam b'may chasim. How do you finish it off? Kiyos Rav Dima Omar, Rebbe chasim Rosh Chodesh, Baruch Mekadesh Yisrael, V'Rosh Chodashim. So just like over there, it's not a problem. By us in Alamich, it's also not a problem. You do say 2 things. So listen to the lashon here. Al Oretz, and if you look in the bencher, it has 2 ways of saying it. Al Peris, Val Perisel, depending where you are in Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz. So Gemara starts off saying, Al Oretz, Val Perisel. In other words, on the land, which land of Eretz Yisrael? Val Perisel, and the fruit of Eretz Yisrael. Okay. Rabbi Yechon Omar, Al Oretz, on our land on Eretz Yisrael, Val Peris, and just fruit. Omar Rav Amram v'lo pligi, there's no machlokes. Halam ba'alu. Rav Chisda, who was in Bavel, he says Val Peris Seha and the fruit of Eretz Yisrael. And us in Eretz Yisrael, we say Val Peris. Maskiv lo Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, inu achlev anam mevarchin. They're going to eat peros, and we're going to make a bracha for them. We're talking about, we're in Bavel, and we're saying the fruit of Eretz Yisrael. We didn't eat the fruit of Eretz Yisrael, we ate the fruit of Bavel. So why are we making a bracha for the people in Eretz Yisrael? Ela epoch. When you're in Bavel, you say ala peros. We're making a bracha ala Oretz, the land of Eretz Yisrael, and our fruit over here. Rav Chisda Omar ala Oretz v'ala peros. V'Rab Yochanan Omar ala Oretz v'ala peros seho. So, but if you say ala Oretz v'ala peros seho, it's like one thing almost. The land with its fruit, the fruit of its land. It's one thing. It's not 2 separate brachas, unless you are in Bavel and you're saying ala Oretz / our fruit, which are not the same thing. Who's Rabbeinu? Rav. Alabei of Almine Kufra. What's the bracha chroina on egg and meat? Batchilam mavar shakol b'soif bar nefashis. This will come to big shak this sugya. Aval yarko loy. So Rabbi Yitzchak bar Avdimi, here's the chart. Believe it or not, there are a few shittas here that say that if you eat vegetables and water, there's no bracha chrein at all, not even a bar nefashis. It's not like we said in the beginning of the sugya, v'loy klum means bar nefashis. Over here, v'loy klum means 0. You drink water, you eat a tomato, you don't make a bracha chreina. That's Rabbi Yitzchak bar Avdimi, nothing. Rabbi Yitzchak says, one name, Rabbi Yitzchak says, you do make a bracha chreina on vegetables, not on water. And Rav Papa says, like what we do today, you make a bracha chreina on everything. So the Gemara, Rabbi Yitzchak Omar, afilu yarko, avamay eloi. Rav Papa Omar, afilu maya, you make a bracha chreina, burn nefashis, even on water. Mar Zutra avad ki Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi. Mar Zutra has one name. His father's name is not mentioned. He did like Rabbi Yitzchak bar Avdimi, like the person that has 2 names. Rav Shimi Barashi, Avid ki Rabbi Yitzchak. And Rav Shimi Barashi, 2-name person, did like the 1-name person Rabbi Yitzchak. B'si monach, chad kitrei, utrei kichad. Omer Rav Ashi, ano zimno, d'chimit karno, avidno kikulu. This I find incredible. Rav Ashi says, when I remembered, I don't know what that means. He's Rav Ashi. When he remembered, he made a bracha, achroina, even on water and on vegetables. In other words, sometimes he didn't remember. I don't understand 100%. Nan. Kol shetom bracha lachrov, tom bracha lefanov. Rabbi said we learned this in Nida. The good news is, whoever was with us in Nida, we just learned it. If you just joined us now, you have to wait 7.5 years to get there. I'm not trying to depress anybody, but that's...
It is what it is.
Yeah. But once in a while we mention things from Nida, and it says that there are things, what is this thing that you make a bracha beforehand and you don't make a bracha afterwards? According to Rav Papa, vegetables and water, you do make a bracha achroina. So what is it? According to Rav Papa, what is it? We need to know according to Rav Papa. That's all we're trying to find out. Bishlam using by Rav Dimi, lafuki yarka comes to exclude vegetables, says Rashi, and certainly water. Of course you have to make a bracha achroina. I'm sorry, you don't make a bracha achroina on water, because he says you don't make a bracha, right? The reason Rav Dimi says it comes to exclude vegetables, that not, and of course water, that not. If you don't make a bracha achroina on a vegetable, you don't make a bracha achroina on water. Rav Yitzchak only says one thing, just water, not. He says you make a bracha achroina on every single object. Mitzvahs. You don't make a bracha. You put on the tzitzis. You don't make a bracha achroina. According to Eretz Yisrael, that you make a bracha when you remove your tefillin. Yeah, okay. Whoever learned Nida recently might remember this. What about tzitzis? Not like in the 8-minute daf. Tzitzis also you don't make a bracha achroina. Even in Eretz Yisrael, only tefillin. Why the Gemara doesn't say, okay, it comes to exclude all the mitzvahs in the world besides tefillin? Taisus discusses that. It seems like in Nida, Taisus says, because I want to give a whole category, a full category, and since one thing is not complete, tefillin, so I'm going to go to the category of reach. There is no bracha achroina on reach. Omar Rebbe Yanai. Omar Rebbe, kol shuke beitza. What's the healthiest food in the world? Beitza toiva mimeno. If you eat an egg, beitza toiva mimeno. The egg is the best food. It's the healthiest food. A lightly roasted egg is better mishito kayasa sulta. From 6, kayasa is a measurement. In other words, 36 eggs worth, 3 dozen eggs worth of flour. It's better than 1 egg is worth 36 dozen flour. Yes, 6. But matvisa, if it's fully roasted, it's only me'arba. It's better than 4. In other words, 2 dozen eggs of flour. If it's completely cooked, kol shuke beitza, toiva imenu, the egg is the best of the best. Lebar bisra, besides meat of the same size is just as good, or maybe better, just as good, I would think. Fine. And memela, that's what Rabbi Yani started off, that he said kol shu beitza, meaning a fully cooked egg is better than everything else. Rabbi Kiva oima afilu ochas shelek. Where's the clock? I don't see what time it is. B'chlal. What?
6 minutes.
Okay. That's all I got there. Now, how could Rabbi Kiva say you make a brikas hamazon on cooked vegetables? Does it give you sustenance? Or Rav Ashi, you're right, it doesn't. We're talking about one particular food. We're talking about the stalk of cabbage. That gives sustenance. Spleen. It's really good for teeth whitening. But it's really bad on your intestines. And leek is really bad for your teeth, but it's really good for your intestines. So how do you achieve both? If you want to have clean teeth, want to have white teeth, but you don't want it to destroy your stomach. The Gemara is going to discuss. If you eat fresh, raw vegetables, it will change the color of your face. And if you eat an animal, a full-size animal, let's say a small little cow, it will make you stop growing. Anything that's a full, used to be live, like a small sardine, the Gemara says. You eat the full thing, it revitalizes your body. If you eat something that's close to where the neshama is, like the throat, that's where you breathe from. Cabbages for sustenance, and turnips are for medicine. Hashem Yirachim on the stomach. It's a terrible thing if you have to eat a turnip. The spleen is good for your teeth. How are you going to eat a spleen and not destroy your stomach? So just chew it, so it has the benefits for the teeth. And throw it out, spit it out. Creation leaks. How are you going to get it into your stomach without it going through your teeth and destroying your teeth? So cook it up, and then you'll be able to swallow it without touching your teeth. Raw vegetable makes you change colors. We're only talking about the first meal after bloodletting. If you eat raw vegetables 4 hours into the day, also do not talk to this guy. My time shum terrible, bad breath. But Rashi explains, because you're so hungry and you didn't eat breakfast yet, so that odor will go into you and hurt you. You're not allowed to eat raw vegetables. So is it bad for the person talking to you? Is it bad for the person eating? They was sitting around. They brought in front of them the raw vegetables. They ate it. How come you're not eating? Because you're makbid on what they said, that if you eat, nobody's allowed to talk to you. Look, you're talking to us. So you see, you're not makbid on it. There's two Rabbi Yitzchaks. The problem is that I'm not worried about you talking to me. I'm worried about myself. I'm not allowed to eat it, so therefore I didn't eat it. Called kata maktin. If you eat a small animal, it'll make you shrink. Or Rabbi Yitzchak, or won't allow you to grow. Even if it's a really fat, juicy goat that costs a lot of money, it's still unhealthy. It means that it has less than 25% of its natural growth. So let's say a goat grows to be 4 feet and it's less than a foot long, then you're not allowed to eat it. But if it has more than 25%, it's not a problem. Even small little herrings. What does that mean? From the throat. You eat from the throat, it's good for you. Rava told his shamish, his servant, the bisra, when you buy meat. We once had a story where the guy jumped in line or whatever. Okay, fine. I want the meat that's closest to the shechita place, where they made a bracha on it. That has something to do with what we said the other day, with the bread of the eruv and the chulu. Kruv l'mazayin utradim l'refuah. What does that mean? Kruv l'mazayin in l'refuah lay. What? Cabbage is good for sustenance but doesn't heal. But Tanya, there's shisha dvarim mirabez achayla. In the list of the 6 things that heal, one of them is cabbage. How come you're telling me that it's only good for sustenance but not for refuah? Hold on. Shisha dvarim mirabez achayla mechol yerufos and refuah. Veiloin, kruv, cabbage, utradim, beets. These are all good for healing. Umeisisin means mint water. Vikeva, and vash is taken out. Vikeva ma. Veheres is a womb. V'yoseres is a diaphragm. V'yoseres hakavod is a diaphragm. Eleima kruv aflamazin. So you're right. Kruv has 2 things. It's good for medicine and it gives you sustenance. So is a turnip good for you or not? It seems like Rava loved turnips. Don't ask me even how am I going to eat it. Just buy from me, I'm going to eat turnips. 3 pshatim. If you don't, what's the word? It's so sharp, if you don't knock down the sharpness with meat, then it's very dangerous. Rava was talking about he's going to cook it up with meat. He's going to eat it with meat. You have to drink it with wine, so that's what Rava was doing, with wine. Itmar, Rav Amar b'li basar, Shmuel Amar b'li eitzim. What does eitzim mean? Without cooking it. Remember what the sound of cooking turnips is? All right, so here, this is the same Gemara, like we said over there. You should cook it up over here also. No, it says turnip.
Beets, right? Beets.
Look it up. Sudani. We break down the flavor with meat and wine. Atun. Right? There's a famous, no, but we do it with wine. You guys that drink a lot of beer, you don't believe in the whole wine thing. You don't have a lot of wine. But how do you break it down? With wood. Like the wife of Rav Papa, she would cook it up once, and then she would put it into betamnim upe parsiyasa in 80 large logs. Should we stop here? Little herring will kill you sometimes. B'shiva, if you eat it 7 days after you put in the salt, you salted it. B'shiva, 17 days after you salted it, ubetzim b'shiva, and 27 days after you salted it, betzim shloisha. The kitzur, you have to look at the box before you eat it. If it's partially roasted, al mitveh shaper, once it's fully cooked, less lamba. Udlei mitvi shapir, Rabbi said this is where the source of drinking schnapps with herring comes from. Udlei mitvi shapir, I'm making that up. Udlei mitvi shapir, la'amor el delei shasa basrei shichra. If you don't drink beer with it. Aval shasa basrei shichra, lesson ba. If you drink beer with it, there's no problem. We should really finish the parak. Do we have a minute? What time is it?
Good, go.
It says if you drink water when you're thirsty. What else do people drink water for? If you're choking, you drink water, so it's not for your pleasure. What bracha do you make on water? Bar nefashis or shahakol? This is where that guy got it, whatever, the person from Manchester. This is, look what everybody does. Everybody makes a shahakol, so don't be different. If everybody doesn't say Shem Hashem's name in the Gemara, don't say Shem Hashem's name.
Cheek does not whiten.